Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Mr. Almay Lewis back at you with another video, and today we're gonna be talking about why the word should sucks and it's shit and it's full of bullshit, and they should completely eliminate that word from the English vocabulary. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't hit the notification icon, make sure you hit it. And at the end of this video, if you really actually like it, make sure you actually hit the like button because it really helps, in order to keep my channel growing. Anyway, let's go ahead and start. So, you might have heard this told by your parents, maybe by your teachers, maybe by your boss, maybe by somebody close to you. They tell you, hey, you know what? You should talk more. You should be more open. You should be more expressive. You should be more happy. You should have more high energy. You should be this. You should be that. Like, fuck you. Seriously, like, anybody who tells you that, I'm pretty sure in your mind, I know in mine, I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you and your little should. You should do this. You should do that. I shouldn't do shit. Alright? Because here's the thing, the word should, when you tell somebody, hey, you should do this, you should do that, it kills all the empathy completely. So if you're the one saying this word, maybe you're an extrovert, you landed on my channel for some weird reason, you're watching this video, do not use the word should to get someone to do something. Never use the word should. You see, because when you use the word should, like I said, you're killing the empathy. And when you kill the empathy, uh, then the other person just doesn't want to listen. First of all, they don't want to listen, and second of all, they're pretty much going to ignore everything you say, and that comes after the word should. It's guaranteed. The word should is just a way of you saying, "Hey, you know what? You should," and that is pretty much you setting up the other person to really ignore you and to hate you for life. I'm serious. That's how bad that word is, actually. Um, so us introverts, what should we do when we hear this word should? Well, first of all, I mean, you're gonna have to question your relationship with this person, to be honest, because when somebody uses the word should, like I said, they have no empathy, and if somebody doesn't have any empathy for you, that means that they don't really care about you. So whatever comes next after should, it's not really for your own benefits. It's really for theirs. It's really for you to sort of become like their puppet in a way, because when they're telling you, like, you should do this, you should probably do that thing, you should probably do this, you should probably that. Now, sure, the tonality itself can make a difference, but for the most part, not a lot of people use that word, that tonality properly. So when the should comes out, it sort of sounds like a command, like they're trying to command you to do something, and nobody likes to be commanded. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Never. And so, especially introverts, actually, as a matter of fact, because introverts are very self aware. We're very introspective. We're very aware, and we're very knowledgeable and pretty intelligent to catch on to things that are going around. And so, to tell us that we should do this or we should do that, or that we should, it's sort of implying like we don't know what's going on. When we actually do, we know what's going on. That's not what we're asking. Usually you get this when you ask for help, or you ask for some sort of advice or something like that, right? It doesn't mean that we don't know what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. That's not what we need. We don't need to hear you say you should do this, you should do that, because then that implies that you don't give a shit about me. All that means is that all you really care about is really giving your opinion, sharing what you know. That's not what we want. That is not what we want. I don't know where people get this. It's mostly like extroverts, like I said, that they don't really think things through, especially when they talk. Here's the thing about extroverts, they can talk and talk and talk, but most of their talk is just a bunch of garbage. It's just gibberish. And most of it is just unnecessary. It's unnecessary talk. It's just like a waste of saliva. It's a waste of fucking, your fucking what the fuck are they called, man? The vocal cords, like the chords that are in there. You're just wasting the power in them because you're saying shit that really doesn't make any sense, and it's relevant. It's sort of like a filler, like you're trying to fill in space because these extroverts are very uncomfortable with silence, so I need to cover that up with some sort of fucking sound, I guess, because like fuck, man, it's crazy, it's crazy, but like never ever listen to somebody who tells you that you should do something. It's just pointless. It's pointless. And I hear this all the time. I get this a lot. I get the shits a lot, and it's just the worst. I really I really don't like it, and I'm pretty sure most introverts don't like it. Because, like I said, we're pretty much aware of what's going on. We don't need to hear, like, you should do this, you should do that. Because, like I said, it implies that you don't have a choice. And at the same time, it implies that the other person, the extrovert, or whoever is giving you this sort of advice, is not listening. They're not listening to you. When they tell you that you should do this, you should do that. No. How about, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Or how about based on what you told me, excuse excuse me. But what if you instead you say like based on what you told me, I would try this. Like why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? How about trying it this way? How about doing it that way? Have you tried doing this? Instead of saying you should do this, you should try that. Why don't you should this and that? And it's like it it's a complete different delivery. It's a completely different setup when you say you should. And so, yeah, you as an introvert, like I said, you may feel very annoyed, very angry, very frustrated when you hear somebody tell you that you should do something because, like I said, nobody likes to be told what to do. Everybody likes to be given options. They like to be given options, an alternative, a something that they can do instead of what they've currently been doing. Because here's the thing, because like I said, most introverts are pretty smart. They're pretty self-aware, and they understand what's going on. That's not why they need you for there. They what they need is somebody to give them options. Like, hey, why don't you try this thing? Why don't you try that other thing? They don't need somebody to come in there and be like, hey, you should do this instead. It's so almost like giving them a command, like I said, and it's just not right. It's not the right setup. And so you as an introvert, if you're hearing this and you're having somebody tell you that you should do this, what should you do with that person? Like I said, you should question that relationship and really start looking forward to ending that relationship. Actually, start looking forward to how you're gonna cut that thing because it's not gonna end very well. It's not. Because like I said, this other person doesn't really care about what's going on. Like I said, they just want to share their opinion. They just want to share what they feel. They don't really care about listening to you. They don't care about empathizing with your situation and then giving you advice based on, what the situation is for you. And this is what I hate about people that say you should. They don't actually listen to you. They don't actually empathize. They don't have any sort of connection with between you and the thing you're trying to solve. They don't understand what the connection is. They're sort of treating it as like I don't know, like they're putting themselves in the situation. That's not empathy though. It's almost as though, like I said, they're replacing so they're pretty much treating it as separate, right? What you're doing and you. So what they're doing, instead of actually putting themselves in your shoes, which would be empathy, to like be like, all right, let me assume for a second here that I'm you. In there instead, instead of looking at the situation from a place that it's you, and say they sort of bring in their own life experiences, their own way of looking at the world and how they would deal with that situation. And guess what? That's not empathy. That's them just putting themselves in that situation and being very like egoistic, just not having any empathy for you. Because here's the thing, like there is no way you're gonna be able to replicate anything they tell you, if that's the case, because here's the thing, like if they're the ones putting themselves in that situation, you're not them. Sure, if you're a smart introvert, you can possibly, take some inspiration from what you see, but at the end of the day, they're not doing it properly, and they really don't have any empathy for you. So, in that case, I would highly consider, like I said, the relationship between you and that other individual, because, like I said, there's really no empathy coming from that person. So, yeah, should, should. You shouldn't do anything. Anytime somebody tells you that you should do something, you should do this, you should do that, you probably shouldn't listen to those people and just sort of, question them, really. Because should, it's almost implying like they don't want to deal with you either. That's sort of that's another, way to interpret this, is that they don't really care about, continuing this conversation. It's sort of like they want to cut it off. They want to be like, you know what, you should just do this. Done. Like just go and do that. And they want to cut you off. And the thing is that the earlier this should comes, the less empathy that they actually have for you. So, if you just shared, like maybe you just shared like 5 minutes of your story, and already they're telling you, you know what, you should do this. Then in that case, that means that there's very little hope for any empathy at that point. But I mean, if they heard you for about an hour and stuff, and they use the word should, sure, it could be by accident, or it could be that they possibly, maybe they hurt you, but they didn't quite understand you. So that's another thing too. So just realize this, as an introvert, there'll be a lot of people who will tell you that you should do this, you should do that, and yes, it will be frustrating. You will be confused. You'll be like, what's going on and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you should just, just really question this person and be like, hey, you know what? I don't know, because at the end of the day, there is no should, there is no rules, there is no definitive. There's only testing, and then there's the testing that you do for yourself. There's of course, generic testing, and then there's generic testing there's testing that's really tailored to your personality. So there's things that are going to work out for you that may never work out for somebody else. So that's why it's so important that people listen to you when you're about to go out there and do something, or somebody's trying to advise you. So yeah. Anyway, just want to cut this video short. Just wanted to talk about that word should, how it should not be used. And when somebody gives you that type of should, you should probably walk away from those people. In my opinion, of course. But and there I go, using the word should. But yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's a consideration. You don't have to do it. If you don't want to, go ahead and listen to them, and go and implement, whatever it is that they're telling you to implement. And who knows, it might work out. But I'm just saying, like my experience with the word should, it really never turns out really good. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification icon, and make sure you hit the like button if you like this video. Sorry, it was had a little bit of a change of a setting here. I got got interrupted here, but I finished up the video here. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. There'll be some videos here so you guys can watch more of my content. In the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video.